Driver, don't ask me how, but we've ended up with an agency driver stranded at Cherwell. Do you mind diverting, going a couple of hours into your rest day, collecting him and getting him back here? It'll be doing us a massive favour. We'll sort you out, obviously. Double time from now until you get back tomorrow.
I have a car and a house and a family, and it's all paid for. You.
Arsehole. This is the weekly rest show from 56 MPH. It's time to take a deep dive into this week's Class 1 and Class 2 driver markets. The Class 2 driver market is hotting up, as you would expect this time of year. There are currently an explosion of over 260 new vacancies online that have been posted in this previous week. With the exception of the London boroughs, Wales, Northern Ireland and the North East, the rest of the country has had a great selection of new adverts posted in the past 7 days. For Class 1, it's also obvious that employers are starting to bolster their ranks in the run-up to Christmas, with again the London boroughs, Wales, Northern Ireland and the North East behind the rest of the UK. But there are still over 700 new vacancies posted online in the last 7 days, so lots and lots of choice. Before we break down the average salaries per region, we should quickly go to the first featured job of this episode, because it's for a Class 1 accepting new passes. It's in Severn Beach, which is Avonmouth, just outside Bristol. It's for a national chilled ambient logistics provider. It's PAYE, £17 to £21 per hour. The money's important, but not as important as getting that little bit of first experience. It might be cleaner, they're out that way, but there'll be some other chilled and ambient providers. But yeah, if you've recently qualified and you want to get a bit of experience, Ignition is the agency in Severn Beach. I'll try and put a link to their adverts down in the description below. £17 an hour being offered at Severn Beach is okay. It's roughly in line with the average for the current adverts this week. The southwest, which is actually where Severn Beach is slightly below average, so it's actually a better than okay salary. Right at the bottom of the average hourly rates is Northern Ireland, unfortunately. Climbing up closer to the average for Class 1 at least is the North East, who are having a torrid time these past few weeks. And the Northwest tops the charts with an average of £17.66 an hour. As a region, it genuinely looks like a good place to live, if you're a trucker at least. The second featured job is placed by Pertemps. It's for a Class 1 tramper out Monday night to Thursday night, £40,000 to £60,000 a year, depending on overtime, delivering Dura-based matting. And they say in the advert that there's minimal manual handling. Is it delivering to construction sites? So cranes, telehandlers, maybe pump up trucks. But these adverts, man, why leave us guessing? These web pages are pretty big. You know, you can fully explain what's required of a driver. It doesn't cost any more. You don't have to pay per pixel or something. Right, now I've broken my chain of thought. If you've not found this a complete waste of time, then do all the stuff like hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Leave a comment. Right, onwards. We've done a little bit of a tweak of how we process adverts here at 56 MPH Towers, trying to work around how different advertisers vary their base and enhanced rates. For example, you might get one advert that quotes a base rate of £17.50 to £18.50 an hour. And then in the body of the advert, they may say nights paid at £30, OT over 45 hours paid at double time, etc. You know the standard advert. But you might then get another type of advert which just instead says in the top £17.50 to £35 an hour and won't mention money again. This makes everything a bit ambiguous. Is the £35 only paid for hour 59 to 60 at 4 AM on Christmas morning? or what? So we've tweaked the way we deal with it. We're going to assume that even though they don't say that, that's a double time overtime rate. It might seem obvious, but when you're scraping a butt ton of ads every week, there won't always be a one size fits all rule that we can use. We are just doing the best we can. So after all that, if this week's charts for rolling averages look a little bit different to the previous weeks, it's because of this tweak. Hopefully they're a bit more accurate. Class 2 hourly rate average across the UK is £14.52, with a maximum of £16 being offered in central London and a minimum of £14.04 in Northern Ireland, with the North East following up in second place and the rest of the UK hovering around the average. And with all that said, the Class 2 night OT and weekend rate seems to be returning to normal. It's closer to where we'd expect it to be after it shot up by nearly £4 an hour a couple of weeks ago. But what's this? KSK Logistics in Hemel Hempstead are looking for drivers, and they're willing to accept drivers with little to no experience, 36 to 40,000 a year. 5 to 6 shifts per week, it's consistent regular work, and it offers a dynamic shift pattern. For the adventurous out there, APR Logistics in Bedford is advertising for Class 1 drivers, and they're pretty proud of their fleet, which includes the latest Mercedes Actros and the latest DAF electric truck. They're offering 44,000 a year plus overtime, which is guaranteed, so 60 hours a week then. And there are performance bonuses, holiday and sick pay are included, as is parental leave, which is, I think, the law now anyway. Also in the DAF is Operation Tramline, the selfie stick-wielding police people on a mission to catch some of those dastardly misbehaving HGV drivers. Now listen up, nobody wants to spend their 45 feeling dirty and recovering from being double tramlined, do they? Cheshire and Derbyshire Police are both operating separate DAF tractor units. It's the North and the Midlands units right next to each other. So a double tramlining is a real possibility. Best carry some baby wipes. In the south, the Thames Valley Police staff will be pootling around the M4 corridor. But perhaps you do some of your best driving over the channel. The RHA, the Road Haulers Association, reports on the upcoming EU entry and exit system starting soon. In theory, UK truckers won't need to do anything much other than have their photos and fingerprints taken once, in theory. Once. And it'll only take a minute or two. For UK truckers, it will be done on the UK side at departure and starts to be phased in from Sunday, October the 12th. That's it. Thanks for making it to the end. My voice is screwed, so you've done really well if you have got it. Again, please like, subscribe, share, comment. It really helps, and see you next time. Bye.